Hey there, shout out everybody. We are going live with a fun little impromptu teaching. Let's just make sure we landed in the right place first before I move forward. Oh, that's a nice expression I caught myself in. There we are. Okay, so I have Miss Lisa, our operations officer, with me in Skype, but I think she's going to jump off the call there. And so we've gone live. Okay, let me get to what I want to share with you guys, ladies and gentlemen. And I am going to, just bear with me. I have to work with a bunch of software here as I do this. There we go. Okay. I'm going to share my screen. Okay, I'm really pleased because I have done a couple of other Facebook Lives this past week. And we've been needing to troubleshoot and find out what the heck is going on. And we found out it's the software between Zoom and Facebook. So yay, that's my first objective here in today's short little training. So something that we do every week, like clockwork, and I've been doing this particular methodology for about 6-7 years now. It's called a new member orientation. So greetings, welcome everybody. This is Ann Sieg. I'm the creator and founder of the E-commerce Business School. And I'm just going to call this an impromptu Voice of E-commerce session for which the purpose of Voice of E-commerce is to make clear to people that we are the real deal. We're real people working with people real time, being that we do this via the internet primarily. However, we do many live events, up to 17, 18 events a year, including trips to China, sourcing trips to China. So, but again, the Voice of E-commerce is just to help you take your business to the next level. So I want to believe at this time, we have two different groups of people watching. Some are current members of the E-commerce Business School. And some of you are, you just know of our page and I showed up in your feed. And so you're welcome to watch. I think you're gonna get some value here. All right. My number one objective as an educator, as I work with people, and you need to know that is my core skill set is education. Both my parents were teachers. My development, my skill building development as an internet marketer happened about 15 years ago when I got put onto that path. But everything that I do in my life manifests itself into education because that's who I am. My parents were both teachers. I was a sports coach for 15 years. I homeschooled my boys for 12 years. So education is my thing. I'll probably be teaching in some capacity till the day I die. Okay, that being said, so what we do is a little exercise in our new member orientation, which is, I call it a wealth building exercise. It's also the actual component of it or structure of it is, it's reverse engineering. So you reverse engineer, you work backwards, okay? So what I am most interested in as an educator is people getting results. When I was a gymnastics coach, I wanted results. When I homeschooled my boys, I wanted results. Here at the E-commerce Business School, for my business owners, I want results. That's what makes me extremely happy. That's when I go to bed at the end of the day with a big smile on my face when I get a story like this, okay? This is one of thousands and thousands of testimonials we get here. So this is out of my slide deck in my new member orientation that I host every week as we bring in new members, okay? And I just want to check here in my other browser and just see if other folks have happened to roll in. That's not the right browser. Maybe it's going to be over here and see if anyone has rolled in here. Okay, I don't see any comments yet, but if you are here, just write in the comment section, okay? Anyway, so this rolled in and I'm like, wow, how meaningful this is. Megan is a member in our Shop Your Way to Wealth program. And she says, this testimonial here, with this program, I've been able to double our payments to my husband's student loans, which was my goal, okay? And this is extremely profound. If you read stats about your average family, what an extra $200 to $250 per month could do for any given American family, it's very significant. And so in this case, they're able to start doubling down their payments on the student loans. That makes me very happy. I can relate. We had to pay off my husband's student loans when he went for accounting and such. Anyways, so I'm just going to move to my next slide, and that'll be my only slide I'm sharing with you here. So this is what we do in our reverse engineering exercise, and it's going to be short and brief. It's much more interactive during my new member orientations. So you got to know what I really love. My passion is brain science, neuroscience. My favorite topics in college were physiology, and that was by far my top favorite, and then kinesiology, etc. But all to say, I'm so fascinated with how the human mind works, and I'm really big about learning how we can optimize the learning environment to create maximum results for our folks. So I study brain science quite a bit. Anyways, there's a lot to be said when you can set forth a goal in this fashion, okay, that I'm going to describe to you. I am such a believer in working in the constraints of time. Time is our master. We do not, it is there. It's immutable, right? So 6 months is going to come by whether we like it or not, right? So I ask my people, where do you want to be 6 months from now? And I want them to actually open up their mind to the possibilities of how they could create a different outcome in their life by actually taking action in their life, and most significantly in the program that they happen to be going through inside the e-commerce business school. Let's map this out for you, right? Because here's what is a problem for a lot of our students. They are not previous business owners. They come from an employee mindset, and it's a very different mindset. Because when you wake up in the morning, there's no one to yell at except yourself for a point of failure, because you're now the CEO of your own business. And lots of folks don't even know of that reality, nor even willing to accept that certain reality, because we are prone in our society to find fault every which way except with ourselves. That's a whole nother teaching, okay? The fatal flaw of not accepting responsibility. And when we do that at a cultural level, really bad news. Okay, back to this. So we set this direction of where we want to be. Okay, so every single call, almost without exception, people are wanting to pay down debt. I'd say that's the number one that I see. Frequently, they're asking about, they want to buy a home. That comes up. And a lot of times it has to do with they need to make money to take care of an aging parent and the like. I think that's my demographics there. But I'll just say, yay, that's awesome, great. Okay, and then I ask people, how are you going to feel the day that happens? What does it look like? What does it feel like? Every single aspect, the day you feel, the day you pay off all your debts, the day you buy that first home, the day you have the income to stay home and take care of your aging parent, etc. What does it look, feel, everything? And the reason is we're wired to be emotional critters. There's no negating that, and it is what it is. So business has this interesting aspect of the logical brains, and then there's the emotion-based. So you want to draw on your emotions, and it's the limbic brain, the deep in the gut stuff, meaning exactly that. Man's Search for Meaning. There's a book by Viktor Frankl, I think is his name. Anyways, Man's Search for Meaning. Here, this is the human experience. Unless you can identify the meaning which your soul craves for you to know, and your brain is craving to know, hey, excuse me, this data, could you please give this meaning for us? And then we can better actualize on what you want us to do, that being your subconscious mind, otherwise known as the elephant brain. I hope you guys can track with me on this. You might want to watch this a couple times over. But all to say, your ant brain, your elephant brain has to create marching orders for your subconscious mind. People don't realize that. You've been beautifully and wonderfully made. When you learn how you're made, then you can get behind the wiring, the apparatus that you've been given to put it into the biochemistry even to make your goals happen, all right? So the chemistry, getting those emotions involved and visualizing, yeah, the day I pay off my debt, I tell you what, you should know exactly what is going to happen on that day. And here's why. So then when you get to the actual nuts and bolts of working your business, which be clear on this, friends. There's going to be, number one, a learning curve. Lots of people can't endure that because they don't have a mindset for learning. They're the instant gratification, and they have no mental discipline for learning. You shouldn't be in business then. Let me be really clear and direct on that. If you are adverse to a learning environment and the need to learn in order to, but I just got to make money. No, scrap that. If you don't even have the mental discipline to learn, because I guarantee you, as you got to know this, with business, all business carries an element of risk. And, oh, well, just all risk reversal for me, and then I'll do it. Sorry, the world doesn't work that way. So, of course, we want to mitigate every risk we can, but by default, you're going to have some risk. You have a risk when you're an employee too, by the way. If you're a shirker, you might get your butt kicked and you lose your job. It's called the real world. So in business, it's, I always tell people your greatest skill set is to be a problem solver. Lots of people don't have problem solving skill sets. That's going to be a problem when you're in business, right? We're talking mindset stuff. So you've got to be willing to be a problem solver. You have to love learning. And will you have failures along the way? You better believe it. And some people, oh, no way, can't face any kind of failure. And good luck. Go bundle up in a cocoon. You won't make it in the 21st century. Sometimes we have to be brutally blunt about these things. Nonetheless, to get back to this, so I actually have a PDF that I give my students during the new member orientation that goes into this exercise more thoroughly, okay? It's a PDF exercise, but in our new member orientation, they're going through this with me, and I unmute 3 people in every call, and they give their answers, which is wonderful, and I relate to them relative to their goals, and then everyone else in the panel is writing their answers, and this is through GoToWebinar, right? So it's a very interactive exercise, and it allows me, as the founder of the program, to get to know my people. Run from a program where the creator doesn't even have a desire and interest to get to know their very own students. Like for me, that's like, I can't even grasp that kind of a mindset. And maybe that would be a distinction between someone who's truly an educator and has that interest, the best interest of their students in mind, versus, no, I'm just selling stuff. I have no interest in that kind of mindset. I tell people, here's what we're not and what we will never be, because this is adverse to my DNA. And that is this, what do I call it? One-off training product. There's zillions of them on the internet because it's taught. I'm one of them who teaches people how to create products and trainings, right? And so they create their trainings and they get dispersed, and there is no touch or contact with the person who created it. And I don't understand that, because when I create something, my ultimate desire and goal is to see results. Otherwise, I don't have my fulfillment. Yes, this is my vocation and this is how I earn an income, but my fulfillment is the actualization of the training that we give and provide, and that it creates life-changing results. Otherwise, I don't want to have anything to do with that gag, okay? I'll just find a different way to make a living. That's how I feel. But I love being an internet marketer. I love educating, and I love working with people to help move them through the learning process. So anyways, guys, quite frankly, this call was done to make sure that we had all our software hooked up, so I don't have any snafus next week. But there's, oh, okay, Lisa's letting me know there are comments. Thank you, Miss Lisa. You guys, I have such fantastic team members I get to work with. I'm so spoiled. All right, so I got to find it, Lisa. I don't see my video yet. I'm going to refresh, guys, on my EBS page. I want to answer your comments, so just hang tight. I have 2 monitors going, so just be patient. Just be patient. And I'm going to stop the share. Okay, so there it is. Oh, Lisa said I have comments. Good. Okay, so there they are. Hi, Jane. Oh, thank you. So Jane and I were together at the Trifecta just a couple weekends ago. Hello, Judith. Hi, David. Hi, Bahir. Okay, cool. Guys, just as a little factoid, share with me, how many of you are members? I know you are, Jane. She was up in Minnesota with me a couple weeks ago. I think you were, Jane, right? Let me know if I'm correct on that. And then if any of you are not yet members, I'd just be curious because I'm wondering if this is showing up on people's feeds and the like. And thank you for the comment, Judith. It's fun. You know, for me, it's, it's like a science. My dad is a scientist. He's a physicist. So there's always, for me, my fascination is, oh, how can I help them understand this better? And for me, then I go drop back to the drawing board and how can I make it better for people? How can I make a bigger breakthrough for someone? That's my fun for, like someone might be a scientist and make, my dad does lighting as his specialty and he works with lenses and that's his big high. Mine is, oh man, they're stuck on this point. So what would be a good metaphor to help them? That's really fun. And to see people's neurons snapping and they get it, and then they get into better action and they get better results in their life. Okay, I don't think I see any more comments. So, okay, I think, guys, so hopefully this had some kind of value for you. I'll probably eventually have this as a just complete separate module, deepening of this whole teaching of reverse engineer and the whole 9 yards, but because this is what I really like to do for folks. So that's it. God bless, guys. So I will see you next week where you get to, it's Meet the Dean. I give an overview of the e-commerce business school campus. That's on Tuesday at 12. And then our Voice of E-commerce call next Wednesday at 12. Here's a little secret heads up. You ready? It's called Strengths Finders. And it's a book that was given to me by my coach and mentor, Coach Kurt. And then we created a mini course out of that, Coach Kurt and I. And now I bought the book for all my staff members, Strengths Finder by Tom Rath. Come watch that next Wednesday at 12. And basically the nuts and bolts of that is they have this test that you can take as a result of buying the book. It's an online test and you find out what are your personal strengths. And then as we teach in business is you play towards your strengths. Don't fret unduly about those weaknesses. Get honed in on what your strengths are. So you know what, in my 4 top attributes, you know what my number 1 is in Strengths Finder? You're never gonna believe it. It's learner. So anyways, okay, member here says Shiwei. Boom, in the house. Hey, Shiwei. And Jane, yep, one of the Janes. Got it. Okay, signing off, guys. God bless. Have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.